Hi guys, my name is Lauren. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, I really hope you stay. It's been almost a month since my last YouTube video, and I wish I had a better excuse to give, but honestly, the last month has just been really rough on my mental health, and I've been really depressed. So for today's video, I kind of wanted to talk about what it's like, for me at least, to live alone when I struggle with mental health issues, hoping that it can maybe help somebody else that's about to live on their own for the first time, or just someone making a video on something I know something about. So I moved out in April and I got my own apartment and I live completely by myself. I don't have any roommates, I don't have any pets. And for a while it was great and I loved every second of it and things were going really well. I loved my job. I was having friends over all the time. Things were going just really overall generally well in my life. And then about 6 weeks ago, my mental health started taking a turn for the worse, and I started isolating myself a little bit more. It started getting harder to get out of bed. Cleaning is hell. I spent an hour cleaning my living room today just so I could film this video. I really wanted to clean my whole house and do a house tour for you guys, but honestly, I just don't have the strength to be able to sit down and hammer out my entire house and get it all clean in one day before I go on my trip. And that makes me feel horrible. I feel really embarrassed about the fact that I can't clean my entire house, but honestly, it just exhausts me. Like, physically exhausts me. I did my dishes the other day and I took a 3-hour nap afterwards because that's how fucking exhausted I was after it. And I can't tell you how tiring it is to feel this way, not all the time, but regularly enough. I've never really talked about this on this channel or really anywhere publicly at all, but I have a laundry list of different diagnoses, like I've been diagnosed a lot with different things, and one of the things that I struggle with that I actually learned about a couple of years ago is that I have borderline personality disorder, and I can try and give a good explanation, or I could try and give a good explanation on what it is, but I'm still learning about it. Honestly, I don't do a lot of work about it in therapy. I don't know everything there is to know about it. What I do know is that I cycle between almost being manic, which is really energetic and almost, I want to use the word happy, but it doesn't really feel happy to me. It's just more alert and energetic and like having the willpower to actually get out and do things and socialize and clean my house. And sometimes when I'm manic, I want to do things like rearrange my living room or dye my hair or get a new piercing or something like that. And so usually I try not to do those things because they usually don't turn out very well for me when I'm not in a good state of mind, when I'm that manic. Or I swing low to where I'm almost depressive, but it's never quite, it doesn't quite meet the criteria for being full-blown mania or full-blown like depression, even though I am diagnosed with depression as well. It's really complicated and confusing, but what I know is when I'm on a downswing of things, it can last for a really long time, and it makes things hard to do, like clean my house, socialize, make appointments and keep them, take my meds, hold a conversation, get out of bed. Like, all I want to do is sleep. I haven't wanted to make YouTube videos, even though they make me really happy. I've had absolutely no inspiration. I think I was more in a manic upswing when I started my YouTube channel, and it's all really hectic and really confusing, and it's hard to live with it. And now that I'm alone and not living with my parents, I've come to realize how low the lows really get, and it's been hard. And I guess I'm grateful that I have a safe space where I can go and talk about it. Yeah. On the bright side, I met with my doctor recently and he raised my medication levels, and so hopefully I will start getting out of this downslide soon. In the meantime, I've just been doing my best to force myself out of bed and do things that make me happy, and I really wanted to get this YouTube video out before I go on my trip And so I got up this morning and I put some makeup on and I sat down and I'm determined to film this because I know I'm gonna feel better when I do. It might not be the best of videos that I've ever put out, but at least it's a little more personal, and I think it's something I'm gonna be proud of ultimately. On another note, part of this video I wanted to make to talk about things that you should know before you move out on your own, because I know that I have some viewers that are actually getting ready to move out on their own soon. And so I thought I would take my experiences and turn them into a little video that'll hopefully help them. Capiche? So the first thing I think you need to know before you move out is that you need to make a really long, thorough list of everything that you're going to need for when you move out. And you're not going to think of some things until after you move out that you need, and that's perfectly okay. For example, I forgot about a plunger until I actually needed one. It was a shitty situation to be in. No, but seriously, like, make a long list, and then once you're done with your list, go to your parents and ask them to add to the list, or some other trusted adults that you have, or just somebody that lives on their own, because chances are you're gonna forget things to put on that list. And when you go shopping for your things on that list, you don't necessarily have to go to big super centers. Start at thrift stores. They've got tons of stuff. All of my silver, or not my silverware, but like my pots and pans and my bowls and stuff, that's all from thrift stores or Goodwill. Goodwill's a good place to start too. You know, you don't have to break your bank to move out, and that's not something you really think of when you've got a big long laundry list of things that you still need. Something else that's good to know when you're right before you actually move in is to go through your apartment and take pictures of the walls and the floors and everything they look like, because like pictures of what the apartment looks like before you move in, because if there's damages that are already there that weren't fixed before you moved in, sometimes I've heard of landlords trying to like pin that on you to try and get money out of you at the end of, you know, when your lease is up or whatever, and that's fucked up. So make sure you prepare for that. I feel like this one probably goes without saying, but definitely create a budget. You know, put your rent and your utilities and your Wi-Fi and whatever else you have. Like, make sure you can budget that every single month before you move in, and then make sure you stick to it when you move in, and make a budget for fun money, like things you're gonna, you know, money that you're gonna use for entertainment purposes. And then stick to only spending that, because you're going to be tempted to spend money from outside categories, and you don't want to fuck yourself over and have not have enough money to pay your bills. I haven't been there so far, but I've been close, and I want to encourage you all to not live recklessly like I do. This tip isn't going to help everybody, but if you struggle with mental illnesses and you take medications for them, set up some sort of system that helps you remember to take your medications. If you're like me and you're not so good with doing that. In all honesty, I relied on my dad to tell me when to take my meds a lot, even as an adult, and it was hard to get out of that because I would just take my meds when he took his meds. So not having that routine when I got out, when I moved out, was hard. And I heard a really good tip is to give your cat a treat. If you have a cat or an animal, is to give it a treat whenever around the time you're supposed to take your meds is, because you might forget to take your meds, but eventually your animal isn't going to forget that that's the time you give them a treat. So they're going to start asking you for a treat. That's going to trigger something in your brain like, oh yeah, hey, I should take my meds now. It's really important to keep up with your medications. There's like a honeymoon period where moving out feels like the best thing in the world. And I felt like I didn't really need my medications when this happened, but that's a really dangerous game to play, and you should definitely take your meds. Take your meds. Take your meds. I cannot stress this enough, and it might seem like a no-brainer, but clean up after yourself as you go. You're gonna, if you're lazy like me, you're gonna wanna like clean up your mess later, and I'm telling you, it just builds up and it'll stress you out and it's shitty. So just, you know, wash your dishes as you go, or better yet, get paper plates, because fuck dishes. Make your bed when you get out of it. It's nice to come home to a freshly made bed. Like, that's a really nice feeling, especially like coming home and seeing that. Like, that's a good feeling to have, especially when you have your own place. And yeah, just clean up after yourself just as you go, so you don't have to worry about like cleaning up a big mess once a week. I feel like it's probably obvious. I also think it's important when you move out to have a list of hobbies that you enjoy, so you're not like constantly just at home watching Netflix or whatever it is that you might do. Because me personally, when I first moved out, like all I did for the first 3 weeks was like sit at home and smoke weed, and that probably wasn't the best for my mental health. And yeah, make some hobbies for yourself. Go out and do something. Try not to spend too much money while you're doing it, though. If all of your hobbies are something that costs money, you're not doing it right. And also, if you live somewhere where it gets really hot in the summer, make sure your air conditioner works before you move into the apartment, because mine didn't, and that fucking sucked. I moved in April and didn't test my air conditioner until May when I needed it, and that was a terrible decision on my part. Be smarter than me. Check your AC. And those are all the tips that I have so far, because I'm still kind of unexperienced at living on my own. If you guys have any more tips for people when they move out, leave them in the comments. I want this to be able to help somebody that's going to move out, or maybe somebody that already has moved out that could use some tips on how to live better. I don't know, I'm just telling you what my parents have told me. I just want to apologize for being so inconsistent with my videos. I know I've kind of created a little bit of a following, and I have some friends that really like the stuff I make, and that means the world to me. And I'm sorry I haven't been putting out more videos for you guys, but it's just been kind of tough. But I feel like things are getting better, so I hope to be back with some more quality videos for you in the future. I'm about to go fly halfway across the, well, no, not like halfway, but like a quarter of the way across the world to go meet my internet friend of 11 years tomorrow morning. So hopefully this video will be up before I land. If not, it'll be out before, or by the time I get back, if not slightly afterwards. I might have a video about my experiences out there too. I'm gonna go see the ocean for the first time. It's gonna be really sick. And this is like a well-deserved, much-needed break that I am really excited that I get to go do. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little different, but I wanted to get a little more personal with you guys. And I hope this video can help someone, or give someone some helpful tips, or just at the very least be somewhat entertaining. Because if I'm not somewhat entertaining, I'm not me, you know? Alright, make sure to like and subscribe if this video is worth liking and subscribing to. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I already said that. This video is a mess. I love you guys. Goodbye.